really well this morning from a couple tough defeats, and got refocused on Colorado, and had just a really good mindset and attitude, and work hard, and I think that's a good sign. I think sometimes when you're young, like we are, you can bounce back a little bit easier. You know, the losses don't stay with you as long, and so that's a good thing, as long as you're learning the lessons along the way that you need to learn to and apply going forward. And I kind of feel like that's what our guys are doing. So, you know, I think you always worry a little bit about hangover, whether it's after a really big win or difficult losses like we had. And so I was kind of tuned into that, and I just didn't feel it. So I think that's a credit to the young men on the team and the assistant coaches getting them going. So it was a good start to the week. So we're focused and we're excited.
What's the plan for Kendricks and Dwayne this week?
Well, Kendricks was out here very limited, didn't have his pads on. You know, his shoulder's bothering him, his back's bothering him, his ankle's still a little bit sore. So we're just going to go through the week with him and see where he is. Hopefully he'll be able to do some stuff tomorrow in a red jersey, full speed. Simon, same thing. You know, we'll see where he is on Saturday. But I'll tell you this. The way our offensive line played was very encouraging. It wasn't perfect by any means. I mean, there was technique errors. I think when we talked Sunday night, you know, I said there were some things where you'd like the anticipation to be a little bit better and a little bit quicker. But in terms of their ability to bend and communicate and move laterally and get down the field and finish, they did a nice job. So it's encouraging to see those guys work together.
You got to bring in 3 different doctors for Eric at this point.
Eric goes in there. It's like the old, what was that board game? You know, Operation. Yeah, you know, he lays on the table and they just pick him apart.
As long as he doesn't buzz.
But he's a tough guy. You know, you don't like to divulge a lot about what happens on the sideline, because the sidelines, it's like a little sanctuary, and it's crazy, and it's, you know, things are said and emotions are spilled. But when he had to leave that game on Saturday, I mean, he was sobbing like a baby. It hurt him so bad not to be out there with his team, and you just love that. You know, you want that passion in all of your players, and when your leader, and a guy like Eric has that, it just it resonates with everybody else. So he's going to be hard to keep off the field. It's so important to him.
We saw Jordan walk out in pads. Is that
that's
encouraging at this point?
You know, I think sometimes when you have a couple games like we had, guys that are hurt and, you know, maybe on the fringe, if they're the right kind of kid, if they're the right kind of competitor, they develop a sense of urgency to get back, and I feel that with a lot of guys. You look at our injury report, and it's pretty vast, but at the same time, you see a bunch of guys that really want to get back out here and do all that they can, whatever they can. Even guys like Marcus Rios and Kenny Walker that are in red shirts and really not contact guys yet. I mean, I have to kind of pull them out because they're in there mixing it up, and I think you love that. You know, I think it's a really positive sign for the program.
You've seen a receiver like Richardson this year?
I'd have to think. Amanda's calling.
Okay. She would.
It said Amanda Knox. You got something going with Amanda
Alex.
Knox?
Alex.
Okay. I was reading it upside down.
I wonder why the Italian police are out here.
Yeah. He is dynamic. And you know what? He's got strong hands, and he can come in and out of his breaks. And I don't know if you guys saw the play versus Arizona, the deep post where he caught it, and then there was no one that was going to catch him. And the way he was running across the field, and then the way he put his foot in the ground and turned back up the field. Then when he got to the end zone, he made another left. And it was just really impressive athleticism. And, you know, I had read where he had a boot on Monday, and it would be a really great thing if he had a boot on Saturday, because that guy, he can scare you.
How different is it that, I know after 2 losses last year in a row, that was just with Stanford, but how different does it feel after 2 losses in a row this season? Is there that sense of urgency? I know you talked about it a little bit, but can you tell there's just a little bit of a difference after 2 losses than maybe one? Or
it's very different, you know, because last year was the last game of the year, then the Pac-12 championship game, and there was kind of even though we had the bowl game, there was a finality to it, you know. It was just it was not a good feeling at all. We felt like we were so close in that Stanford game last year, you know, to getting to the Rose Bowl. This year's very different. You know, we lost 2 really tough games on the road to 2 really good teams, and it's very disappointing, but we still have a lot out in front of us, and we can still accomplish some really great things as a team. But it's going to take a great effort and great focus and a one-game, each game championship mentality. And I just think that it's really good for our program to go through these things. It's painful. Nobody likes it. We don't like it. The players don't like it. The fans certainly don't like it. The student body, But as you're growing, as you're building, you have to hit tough patches. You have to find a way to get through adversity. The next step for us, I'm talking long term, is when a game like that against Oregon or a game like that against Stanford on the road, we find a way to win. Not just compete into the fourth quarter, but win. But, you look at our young guys, and the next time we're in that situation, we've got 8 freshmen that are going to understand what it's like, and they're going to be better because of it. So that's the rosy side of it. The negative side is, bottom line is, we lost. But we've got it's all out there for us still.
How Miles and Jordan look on film, switch at the
They did
positions?
really well. They did really well. And, it's nice to have versatility. And Jordan's the guy that kind of provides that, because Jordan can play. He can play outside, and he can play both inside linebackers. He can play the Mike, or what we call the Jack, which is a weak inside linebacker. And now Miles has versatility. He can play inside or outside. And it wasn't as big of a switch for Miles as it might seem, because he plays in our nickel package. And in our nickel package, the position that he plays is, I wouldn't say it's identical, but it's very similar to what he did in our base packages at the Jack position. So it was good. And I like the fact that we can look at the team that we're playing and what they do well, and then we can position our guys accordingly. And that's one of the nice things about our linebacking core, is their versatility.
So Jack is playing the Jack linebacker spot?
Well, he is at times. We haven't decided yet going into this. We're going to see how practice goes and move him around a little bit. But Jack
at the Jack.
Jack at Jack, yeah. Jack go. So.